So what is up, guys? You got your boy Jet Stinger here today, and today we're back with some reverse 1999 content. And today we're gonna be doing a video on Lilya. She's gonna be getting a rerun banner as part of the patch 1.7 banner updates, and I'll go ahead and make a video talking about Lilya, show her off in some content, and whether or not recommending her to you to pull. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get started. Let's take a look at our Lilya. Lilya is a star DPS carry unit that centralizes herself around doing crits and critical damage. She's basically the poster child for critical units. I mean, if you think of critical units and star teams, Lilya is literally the first unit you think about because she has a huge amount of crit rate. She can even further boost her crit rate on certain skills like her ultimate, and she also has better boost on inheritances. Speaking of her inheritances, she gives herself 20% critical rate on her ultimate whenever it's casted, which is pretty good. Critical rate plus 10% whenever she just straight up enters battle, which is again pretty nice. And her cube's effect is doubled. So plus 100% basically means that it's a double effect of whatever cube. Now this does mean it has to be for a cube that's giving you critical rate as the stat bonus. This is what it means by the bonus. Not these, but this. It has to be this little thing right here, the little extra stat bonus that you get from a cube. Like, this one gives ultimate might, this one gives healing done, but you want to give a cube to her that's giving her critical rate for the I3 passive to proc. This basically makes it a 32% crit rate, which is pretty impressive. But anyway, let's talk about it. So what does Lilya excel at? Lilya is mainly a single target DPS with the combination of both her ultimate and her crosswind takeoff skill, which is this card right here. This is undoubtedly the card that you're going to be spamming the most because it does come with a follow-up attack that does half the modifier of the original attack. So at level 1, it does the 80% of half, and then in this one is a 120, which is half of 240, and then this one does 200 for a half of 400. So basically it's just half of modifier just to deal a little bit of extra chip damage, which is not bad at all. When we're talking about damage numbers off the AoE skill, I mean it's okay. It does have a max of I believe 375 on 2 enemies, which is not bad. It's not good that it's not bad for chipping in. But yeah, but to really understand Lilya, she's very simple. You don't really have to do anything like super brain or anything like big post brain to really figure her out, to really make her seem like a solid unit overall. So that's why I do think that it's not really important to, you know, dig deep into understanding Lilya and how she works. All she really needs is just a bit of crit rate, and she does have a lot of support in the game that can help further amplify her damage. One of the biggest things she has is access to Urza, who's another star unit that can also be ran with her, who gives her 40% critical damage, which of course goes well with her having a lot of crit rate. We have access to Tooth Fairy that can lower crit resistance on enemies, and of course lower critical defense off of her passive. We have Isolde, who can lower reality defense and give critical defense down as well. We have GTN, which can also do a reality debuff, and of course help out in damage as well, giving her a 40% reality modifier boost, which actually makes her mod a 740% mod, which is not bad. I mean, a near 750 mod on her ultimate is pretty good. But yeah, so let's talk about the build. So again, as I mentioned with Lilya, you want to build a lot of crit. Now, before people ask, is Resonance 11 necessary? No, it's not. No, go 10. That's always the standard. Go 10. The reason why I went 11 is because with Outside the City, I just did this like a few days ago because I wanted to test it out. But the reason why I would say I'm going this with this build is because after I'm done with everything here, this gives me basically 100% on the dot once Outside the City full effect procs in, and gets me that extra 12%, because the build I have right now gives me basically 88% crit rate, right? So I get the 88% crit rate, and then I get another 78% crit rate, and then I get another 10% from the I2 passive, and then I get another 12 from 10 stacks, which basically makes 100% perfectly. Now, of course, our ultimate would technically be at 120% crit rate, but this also brings me to one of the issues that Lilya does have, and that is a lack of critical rate conversion to critical damage. Certain units in the game have the ability to convert whatever excess crit rate into critical damage. One of the prime examples of this, I did not mean to do that, but one of the prime examples of this is actually going to be Regulus. Regulus has this built into this effect right here in Arrest's Heart ability, which converts critical hit damage, critical rate into critical damage, right? She does not have this. Lilya does not have this at all, which hurts a lot because again, Lilya can really build a lot of crit rate. I've seen a lot of people go really in on her crit rate too, further boosting the build even higher to resonance. I think 13 if some people have done, which of course would technically mean more crit rate for her, but you don't really get a lot out of it. You don't. It's just there. It's just a flat stat that does not exist. That is very, very sad because that could have actually helped out her damage. It could have potentially made her more solid, I feel like that could have been the thing that really could have saved Lilya. The one saving grace I do think that Lilya has right now is she's arguably the only real star carry that we have currently in the game, right? Regulus is more so sub DPS, so is 37. Those are the two main units you would look at. Obviously, our other units are supports and healers for 6-star carries at least. And yeah, and if you technically have a higher portray level of 37, then 37 becomes a carry. The only optimal time that 37 becomes a carry and not as in sub DPS category is probably Gorgon Raid. That's probably the only time that you really do this is Gorgon Raid, because you can power up with a bunch of various units to, of course, make that Genesis damage really pop off. Anyway, but yeah, Lilya's biggest problem is just that she just doesn't have that convert, which hurts her potential damage a lot. One of the things I would also say about Lilya is that she's definitely been on the crept side in terms of just overall power as a unit. Now, I did say, as a star carry, she's one of the only ones that we have, so she still would see viability and content until we get another active star carry. But in terms of overall power amongst all the carries in the game, Lilya ranks fairly low because basically new units mean new power creep. And since she's a patch 1.0 unit, she's obviously not going to get any of that cool power creep that a lot of these units have. Obviously, we have dumb single target units like Spahuthia that gives herself a metric ton of critical damage. We have units that can just hit really hard with high modifiers without really needing certain things. Like single target units, we have like Monalia, for example, that can really ramp up the power of her ultimate to make her single target damage way more profitable. We have units like let me see, what else is a really good single target? Technically even 6 has a really high modifier and he's not even an active DPS. But there's a lot of single target units out there. Kanabana's another one because of her utility that she can add to the team. She's one of those units that just doesn't really do a lot for the team. That's it. Lilya is 150% a unit that you build for Lilya and Lilya alone. A lot of DPSs in the game at least can contribute to their team one way, shape, or form. Lilya doesn't really contribute anything. It's all about me. I have to use supports that benefit me. My teammates are going to be for me. You know what I mean? And that kind of does hurt team synergy depending on the way you like to play. I personally like all my units supporting the team in one way, shape, or form. It is cool sometimes to really just have like a super carry and really just buff up one unit to make them strong to clear content. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair and that's viable. But Lilya just being this all for me character while also not performing as actively as strong as some of the newer units is definitely a bit of a stain that's left on me. So yeah. But anyway, so this is obviously the build just for final time for you guys to see it here. Really high amount of crit rate there, 45% crit rate. As I said before, Lilya can really build high into crit rate. But lastly, should you pull? No, you shouldn't pull. I don't recommend that anyone should pull Lilya at this time. She is again a patch 1.0 unit, so she could very well spook you in an off-banner 50-50. If you really want Lilya, she's not a bad unit to have. She's not. But she's definitely crept, but she's still at least would see viability in star-based content. If you need something that's weak to star, you can definitely get away with using Lilya and clearing it. I've still to this day have cleared content. I think it's what, last patch, because I haven't used Lilya all this patch, but last patch I used Lilya to clear content because she works. She still can get the job done, even though she's not as strong as obviously the newer units in the game. She at least still can hold her own with proper support. So yeah, but anyway, long story short, I don't think you should pull Lilya at all. I don't think you should invest. If you do have the Unilogs to pull, save it for Marcus or save it for another future character that you may want. I'll make a video talking about Marcus soon eventually as well. But yeah, for the long story, you don't want to do this for her. But anyway, we're going to go over to the next part of the video, show her off in some content, show what she can do, and I'll be right back in just a moment. Peace. Alright, time to show off our Lilya team. This is the team we'll be using here today. We'll be using Lilya, we'll be using Isolde for the reality defense down and the critical defense down. We'll be using Yensei as the better healer and shield and protection and stability. We'll be using Urza for the 40% critical damage buff and also an additional minus 25% of damage. Let's see how much Lilya can do. Alright, so let's see. So we can debuff, we can attack once with Lilya, and then we'll get Lilya, not Lilya, Urza Shrooms active. Yeah, as you can see, she's not dealing a lot. Like, even Urza, because, well, I mean, Genesis damage is unmitigated, so I guess that's a fair take, but man. Man, Lilya. Alright, kind of want to do this, and then we can do this to accelerate the mushroom. Because we definitely want to get disconcernment up. So putting them burn pressures on too. Putting that burn pressure on. Ooh, we got a tier 3 AoE. It's a good dump. So we're at 13 stacks. We got disconcernment up. I might as well go for it. Debuff. And we should be fine this turn. I mean, we really should just throw a debuff, huh? I think we should. Yeah, sure. And then we can heal next turn. Look at that, big 10k. I'm saying that with so much copium in my voice. Oh my god. I am saying that with so much cope that it's actually bad. Alright. Okay, so we got vulnerability. We have one more stack of critical damage, correct? Yes, we do. Cool. Alright, so how am I gonna go about this turn? We could just heal and then just pop up with everything. We could also dump. Kind of wanted to do, let me see. This, and then this. Yeah? That's one. Oh, never mind, didn't crit, we're good. Alright, we get a 50% of rousing morale. If he sold a crits, then that's gonna tick up one. Okay, 34k is not terrible. Got a better heal too out of it. There we go. Who need a healing? Oh, she does.
That's the direction.
Wanna watch the aerial stunts?
Lotus. Rivers are the stars of the earth.
Don't blink.
Isn't that 30 stacks? Yep, that's 30. So we should be in finale status next turn. Lilya got again, which is annoying. Let's do this. Should not a lot of Assault cards here. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Big shield. Need to heal Lilya. We can put 2 stacks on, or we could just ignore it altogether. Yeah, sure. We can use this as a setup turn. We have a lot of turns left anyway, and we're making pretty good numbers.
Look, an earth suspended river. Power from the soil. Please, take good care of yourself.
Good hit. Look how thick Yensei shields are, bro. They're so good. Alright, so Lilya's back online. That's good.
Fun. Wanna watch the aerial stunts?
We don't need the shield, so I guess we will continuously debuff.
Right wing.
I don't want to do his ultimate just yet.
A little trick.
People are getting close to their ultimates, which is good. Yep, that's a vulnerability stack. Ooh, almost got there. Tier 3 debuff. Okay, so we can do this. Shield. Lilya. And I think we're kind of goated for a good rotation next turn. Who needs healing, though? Urza.
That's the direction. An amazing discovery.
Alright, we should be good.
I will help you.
I should have actually... I realized what I did wrong. I should have actually did the shield first, then did his ultimate. Because now I don't get the critical damage boost, but that's fine. Yeah, because there's no way we can actively accelerate it now, huh? Alright, so let's see. We can 50% defense down. Yep. We can do the 25% cripple. We give rousing morale. And then we will ultimate. This should kill the boss. That should kill the boss. If this doesn't kill the boss, I'm gonna be kind of confused. I'm gonna be like, Lilya, what did you do wrong? Because it kind of just falls on her to get the kill. Oh, she's definitely getting the kill now. Like, come on, dog. If you don't get the kill from here, 42k on an ultimate without the critical damage boost. I mean, not the worst. Not bad. But let's check the damage output. Okay, she did do enough damage. Okay, I thought he thought it was gonna do more damage than her. I was about to say, like, brother, you better not tell me that he saw they was cooking more than you. But yeah, this is the damage breakdown. Lilya did 120k, which is, you know, respectable. But yeah, over and all, I do think that I think you're better off just saving your resources. I don't think you should pull Lilya at all. But again, if you want to pull for her, by all means, I won't stop you. Don't let another content creator ever say anything about you pulling. But this has been your boy, Stingren. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.